So I kind of think that Jameis Winston is coming back, and I think that people need to be aware of what that means for the rest of their fantasy assets. So some player splits here, and I'll start at the running back position, where that's the only position that benefits from Jameis Winston being on the field, where in 12 games with Jameis Winston in the lineup between 2018 and 2017, they're averaging 9.35 fantasy PPR fantasy points per game. Without Jameis Winston, they're averaging 5.41. And they project at a position rank of 27. This is Peyton Barber specifically. Projects as a running back 27 with Jameis Winston on the field, and without Jameis Winston projects as the running back 54. Meanwhile, the wide receivers, Chris Godwin with Jameis Winston averages 6.88 fantasy PPR points per game. Without Jameis Winston, it jumps all the way up to 11.46. So he projects as the wide receiver 58 with Jameis Winston, wide receiver 20 without Jameis Winston. Mike Evans, 14.26 PPR points per game with Jameis Winston, and a small jump to 16.63 without Jameis Winston, but a position rank with Jameis Winston of wide receiver 9, and jumps all the way to wide receiver 3 without Jameis Winston. And then Adam Humphries actually does benefit with Jameis Winston. He goes from wide receiver 37 with Jameis Winston down to wide receiver 47 without Jameis Winston. It's a difference of just over 1 PPR point per game. And then the tight ends, O.J. Howard. O.J. Howard with Jameis Winston, 8.23 PPR points per game. And without Jameis Winston, it jumps to 12.2. A position rank of 11 with Jameis, a position rank of 4 without Jameis. And meanwhile, Cameron Brate goes from tight end 8 with Jameis Winston all the way to tight end 36 without Jameis Winston. So it's very obvious what they want to do when Jameis Winston is in the lineup, and it's extremely painfully obvious what Jameis Winston wants to do and who he wants to utilize.